it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Proud y'all, I actually have somewhat of a backdrop. I'm chilling in my pajamas right now. I'm on my bed, but I have my wall behind me, which looks a lot better than me sitting on my floor. So I'm moving up in life, you guys. Also, I have my ring light on. I finally charged it and now I have it to use for a video. So I'm like super happy. Also, it's like almost 11 o'clock at night right now. And I'm ready to take my makeup off and get in the shower, so I'm going to hurry up and film this video for you guys. So I have decided I want to start like kind of like a mini series here on my channel about college, because I'm almost done with my freshman year of college now in a couple months, and I want to share these videos for people that are going into their freshman year of college, or maybe even before that if they want to, or after that if they want to watch them still. But I just want to talk about different things college related, things that are different between college and high school, things that I didn't know before college, things that I've learned in college, stuff about living with roommates, just all kinds of stuff that I think could be helpful for anybody that wants to watch these videos. That being said, I decided to sit down tonight and have a little chit chat with you guys and tell you guys some of the things that I wish I had known before I came to. Before I start my list though, I do want to say moving into college is so different because you're moving away from home. You're not living with your family anymore. It's so different from high school, and I think that's why you kind of go into shock a little bit, because there's a lot of things that you aren't necessarily comfortable with yet. There's just all these new life experiences coming your way, and that's why I wanted to make this video, just to help everybody like easily transition into that change between high school and college. And just to be aware of some of the things that I feel like aren't as widely like advertised about college, because some of it can be scary, it really can be. But I'm trying to be a big sister here and help you guys out. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump right on into it. My first thing is super random, but like, you don't realize how much stuff you need in order to live from day to day. And by this, I just mean like, whenever you were still home and in high school, like that toothpaste that just happened to end up in your drawer that you didn't buy yourself, or the toilet paper in your bathroom, or the hand soap on like the counter, all that stuff didn't just magically get there. It's because your parents bought it. But whenever you're in college, you have to buy all that crap on your own, which I mean is like duh, but like the reality of it doesn't hit you until you actually have to do it, because that stuff is gone so quickly. Our hand soap, we have to replace it in our dorm probably every like week and a half to 2 weeks, because we go through it so quickly because of the 4 of us living in this dorm. I mean, we all like take turns, but still, like having to have that reality of having to spend that money every once in a while to buy toilet paper and buy new shampoo and stuff, it kind of sucks, because like you don't get to use that money to go out and do fun stuff. But it is part of life, it is part of being an adult. But I do want to mention that is actually a thing, the reality of just like acting grown hits you. And it kind of sucks sometimes. That was kind of just like my silly thought for the day. But my next thing is, living with people can be so strange. And luckily, whenever I came to school, my roommate is Oriana, and I've had her in my videos before, but she and I have been friends since elementary school. So I was lucky enough to be living with her. So I did not have that concern about coming into a dorm and being complete strangers with the person that I was going to be living with for the year. So I felt a lot safer and more trusting of her, and wasn't worried about being ended up with like a psycho roommate. In our dorm, it's Oriana and myself in one room, and then we share a bathroom with 2 other girls in the room next to us. And that's I already lost my train of thought. But yeah, so those are our sleep mates, and there's us, and then we share the bathroom. And I was definitely really scared going into it that our suite mates were gonna be like crazy and mean and stuff like that. Totally weren't. Totally sweet girls. One of them we're actually living with again next year. The other one has other plans that she's doing, but the other one, Hannah, you know, we have the same name, of course. It was so funny. We're all living together next year, Hannah, Oriana, and I. And I'm super excited about that, because she is now one of my very best friends. I know some people aren't as lucky to have that whenever they have a roommate, but We all get along really, really well. But it is strange, though. There's these people that you don't know that you're living with. You have to figure out everybody's work schedules and class schedules and who's showering first and who's showering last and whose turn it is to clean or to take out the trash or just things like that. Like what time people are coming home at night, if you need to be aware of the fact that, like, you might have music playing or have your Netflix on too loud because people are going to sleep early or going to sleep later. It's just a very different thing to take into consideration because now there's these other people that all run on different schedules and you do all in one place. So you don't have that same independence or free time, or like not free time, but like kind of like alone time to do what you want to do on your own because there's other people involved now. That being said, though, I do want to do like a roommate tag or do a separate video talking specifically about roommates in general and like introducing you guys to my roommates. I mean, you guys have seen them in videos before, but I would actually like to do like a sit-down video with them and talk to them about what it was like for them, like getting to live with other people, because I think that'd be kind of fun. So my next thing is you should not come to college expecting to make like a billion friends because it's really just not ideal or realistic. I personally, whenever we first started school, it was myself and Oriana. We became friends with Hannah slowly as the year went on, and then my friend Jordan that I made friends with in one of my classes. Jordan is actually gone right now, though. She decided to take off this semester, and she actually went to China to go and help teach little kids English, which I so admire her for. I miss her a lot, though, and I miss getting to hang out with her all the time, but she's coming back in a few weeks, so I'm super excited about that. But that is like my friend group, basically. I mean, we have a couple other friends from our old high school that go here also that we hang out with a lot, but in terms of like my really tight-knit close friend group, it's really just like myself, Oriana, and Hannah, and then Jordan whenever she's here. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but like you really don't need to expect to come in and have like 50 bajillion friends because it's most likely not going to happen because you have different classes every single semester. You can't really guarantee that you're going to have the same people in your class. You can't guarantee that they're even going to have like the same major as you, so they're probably not going to be taking the same classes as you after a certain point. So you're just going to start drifting away from those people. But it is really important, I think, to get your circle and have that circle and cherish those friendships and work really, really hard with those friendships because that's how you keep those friends for a really long time. But I know when you see social media, people in college, you see other videos, people have all of these friends they go out partying with and that they're like, I don't know how people meet all these people though either because it's honestly kind of hard to meet people in college sometimes because you don't always see the same people over and over again, like I was saying, with classes drifting and changing and things like that. So I feel like it's more important to focus on getting those few core friends, that's English, and just focusing on that instead of trying to make a billion friends. And going along the lines of having friends, I think it's important that you find things to do with your friends that you feel comfortable doing. Me saying that is more so me saying don't ever feel obligated to have to go out and party. Don't feel obligated to have to go out and drink or do drugs or anything like that. If you don't think that's your thing and that's not like up your alley, don't do it because you don't ever want to be friends with people that are going to make you go against something that you find morally incorrect. Like my friends and I, we all stay in and we watch The Bachelor every week and we have movie nights and we go out in the middle of the night to go get pancakes at a diner not too far from here. And that's all perfectly fine and fun with me. I don't feel the need to go out clubbing every single night, which I happen to see a lot on like social media. People go out a lot. Which I feel like has to be hard for them balancing that with doing actual schoolwork, which can be concerning. But definitely find something that you like to do. Don't feel obligated to go out and go to parties because you don't have to have friends. Find the friends that you feel comfortable being you with. So balancing work and school and a social life and any other free time you have can actually be very difficult. I know people say that when you go to college, it's so much easier than high school, which it is in some ways, but it's not in others. And you definitely have homework, despite what some people say about not having homework in college. I definitely know that I have a lot of homework that I'm consistently working on, like days in advance, and I also have a part-time job, but I have been getting a lot more hours more recently, so that's become difficult to try to balance my class schedule and the workload that comes with that, along with my actual job. All of that combined with me trying to make sure that I have time to hang out with my friends it's definitely stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's hard to find the time some days. I do the very best I can. I try to make sure I get enough sleep because there's some days I'll come home from work really late and have to be up either for either for work again the next day or for a class. So sometimes it makes it hard to sleep. So just work very hard if you can at the very beginning to try to get a balanced schedule worked out to make sure that you have that healthy balance of work and classes and homework and friends, because it really can get to you, and at the end of the day your mental health is extremely important. So along with the stress comes the fact that the freshman 15 is definitely a real thing, and it's something that I personally have struggled with this year. I do kind of want to make a separate video about it. After I showed you guys my grocery haul in one of my last videos, I want to make sure that I'm taking into account what I'm eating and buying and making sure that I'm putting healthy foods into my body, because that is super important, because I do want to lose weight, and I know a lot of people, it's their goal to lose weight or at least to be healthier. But when it comes to going to college, you go from a lot of home cooked meals to eating dining hall food, which is not always the best, or eating pizza rolls out of your freezer because you don't want to go to the dining hall. And that's something you really need to watch out for, because that's something I was not even thinking about whenever I came here, because it was such a big change. That was honestly the last thing on my mind, was if I was eating healthy or not. But that honestly needs to be one of the first things you take into consideration. I feel like that again can also tie into your mental health, because if you're not eating great, your mind's not in a great space either. So I just think that eating healthy, exercising, make that part of what you do with your friends, that you're keeping each other accountable for what you all are all eating, and go to yoga, go to Zumba, go do fun exercising, gym type things with your friends, because that makes it a lot easier to keep track of your health. Okay, this one, you do not have to date your first year of college. And I know that is one of those things that everybody thinks, is that all the boys in college are going to be so much different than the boys in high school, and that's not necessarily the case. There's still goofballs that still don't really know what they're doing with their lives, that they're still not necessarily ready for relationships. Those people that come into college though and do meet the people that they end up with, that's good for them, but you don't have to come into college thinking that you're going to meet the person you're spend the rest of your life with, because chances are you're coming from a different city or a different state completely. You're in this new place with people you don't know, and you don't need to rush into anything right away, because it's that time of your life where you are able to focus on you and what you are finally wanting to do with your life, choosing a career path, making new friends, going to new places. So you don't necessarily need to be in a relationship. Like I said, if you are, or if you do end up in a relationship, that is so awesome for you, but don't feel obligated to date people because you think it's like a trend, or like you have to, because you don't. Something else I want to talk about is the fact that professors in college are a lot different than the teachers that you have in high school. So during high school, I feel like it's a pretty common thing for, whether it's the smart kids in class or the slackers, the teachers will help them to the same extent to make sure they get pushed along to make sure they graduate. That is not necessarily the case here in college. So I try to stick with the idea of sitting within the first couple of rows in class. Even if you have a huge lecture hall, try to sit in the first 3 to 4 rows of the class. That way the teacher always sees you there, always sees that you're on time, sees that you are focused on class and what they're talking about, and that it's important to you. Because sometimes you will get to that point. You'll turn in that paper a day late. You will show up to class late once. You might miss a class because you're sick, or you might genuinely just be struggling with the material for the class. And if you go to that professor's office hours, they are so much more likely to help you if they had been able to see that you were putting forth an effort in their class, that you were emailing them, that you were going to the office hours, that you were there in class on time and focusing on what was going on, you were asking questions. Because professors in college, they do not have to help you. They are not required by any means to help you in any way unless they feel like they want to. And it's hard sometimes because, yeah, sometimes if you don't reach out in enough time, sometimes it's too late and those professors don't want to help you at that point anymore. And like I said, they don't have to. If you were the slacker sitting in the back of the lecture hall on your phone during every single class and now all of a sudden you're failing, they don't have to help you the way they would have in high school. That being said, though, again, they aren't necessarily intimidating people, and it might seem that way being at a big campus and a big university and taking these really prestigious classes. They aren't out to hurt you. They are people just like we are. I've had some of the nicest professors so far. I've had some of the best conversations with some of the professors that I've had so far. And like I said, they are there to help you and answer your questions, and it can really seem kind of scary to have to go talk to them, but they're really not that scary. But they do have a different set of standards for you than your high school teachers did. There are a lot of good resources on campuses. I know that's something you might forget about. I know they say it a lot during like orientations and during like tours and whatnot whenever you go to visit a school. But those aren't really the things that I feel like you pay attention to. At least not something that I personally really paid attention to whenever I came on my tours. But your advisors that you meet with during the school year, which your advisors will be some of your best friends. Not like literally, but like they'll help you so much. They're able to hook you up with different services that the school offers, whether that's tutoring or writing centers or mentors or like extracurricular type things. So those your advisor will be those people that can tell you the best places to go to suit your needs. So definitely talk to your advisor as early as you can because they give the best advice on what you need to do, like direction-wise. So something that I personally have had to deal with and struggle with this semester is realizing that, like, let me backtrack a little bit. So I am somebody that has loved books my entire life and writing and all of that. I mean, obviously I have a booktube channel, and I have always been really, really good at English. English classes were the easiest for me to pass. I always had straight A's in my English courses. And so, of course, I'm an English major now. And going into this, I was expecting my English courses to be some of the easiest courses that I have taken. And while I do enjoy them the most, my first English class I've taken at this school has been this semester. It's my interpretation of fiction class. And I have yet to receive an A on anything that I have done for that course so far, even though I feel like I pour my heart and soul into it. I get either high C's or B's on my papers or my assignments for my course, which is devastating for me because, like I said, English has always been something I'm amazing at. But I have to remind myself that while I've always been amazing at English, I'm coming to a place where people are coming to do English here also because they're also amazing at English. So I might not be as good as I thought that I was, but sometimes that's one of those things we have to accept about the fact that it can honestly make us feel like we've lost direction for what we want to do in life, because I'm trying to go into something along the lines of publishing. But of course it's really scary because now that I'm starting to question if I am capable of doing it because of the fact that I'm getting a couple bad grades for my first English class here, it's hard. That's a really hard thing to deal with. But that's something that happens. Like, I know we have a really good science program here too. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, I shouldn't even say hundreds, there's probably thousands of kids. And like our science programs, and it's the same thing. All of them are trying to be like engineers or scientists or chemists and all kinds of things. But there's a lot of us here going for the same positions and majors and whatnot. And that can make you feel really insignificant even if you're really good at something. But this is where I'm coming to remind you guys that that's okay. That happens sometimes. That's part of life. This kind of competitiveness that there is in schools like this, and that kind of feeling small and not good enough that you feel, but that is also where professors do come into it, and you go into their office hours and talking to them about how to better yourself for the things that you might be struggling with, or to find out where it is you can improve on your skills that you are struggling. That's it, you guys. I have rambled on for quite a while. It's like after 11 right now. I want to go take my makeup off and take a shower and get ready for bed because I have to work tomorrow. But I really appreciate you guys letting me sit down and talk to you guys about just life and things you might not have known about college, or things that you might have wanted to take a deeper look into. So that being said, I'm gonna go, you guys. Peace out, Girl Scouts. I'll see you guys in my next video.